Good morning. Look what happened while I was gone. 2 more days and this will be full of flowers, but a couple of those may be going inside because it's a rainy day. You can see my plantings didn't get planted, but we will plant them. I need to think about where I want those coneflowers to stay, but those are getting ready. But look at my irises. They're so beautiful. Good morning, it's Barbara. There's the gizmo. I just sat down and thought, I didn't do my gizmo. Thank you for joining me for coffee. Oh, as Chevis says, it's been a minute. Holy cow. I'm home. Got home last night. Left Mama in the good hands of my brother. I had a very lovely visit with her. It's hard work and I'm tired. Partly because I'm a terrible sleeper, but I'm really treasuring this lovely time I'm having with my mother. I have to say, it's been a gift, really. My dad is in rehab. Of course, they moved him on Friday. I guess I told you this on Mother's Day. So nothing much happens on the weekend. So I was there on Monday, and when the physical therapist and the occupational therapist came in, so I was there for their session that they did. He, is very weak. He's 92. He's been in bed, in a hospital or whatever for 2.5 weeks. So, and he wasn't particularly strong before he fell. So, but once he fell and tore his muscle and got in the hospital, it was just a series of unfortunate events. So now he's in rehab, and I watched his first session. So yesterday morning, the therapy people called a meeting essentially for me and my brother. My father was there and their team talking about his treatment and what the plan was. And two things came out of that. One is that when I listened to the report from the therapist of where they assess where my father is, it bore no resemblance to what I saw happen in that therapy session the day before. Zero. I mean, they were rating him as moderate this or, whatever. He wasn't. He was absolutely not moderate in any sense of the word. And I said that. I said, I have to dispute your characterization of his condition, because I was there for that session yesterday, and what you're saying isn't what I saw. Well, were you there for the whole session? Yeah, I was. So I don't know why they would try to mark him as if he were moderate in some areas that he is not. I mean, I get that if, that's their assessment when he's leaving, like assess him in reality at the beginning and then puff it up at the end and say, look how great we did. I mean, that would make sense, even though it would be unethical. But to start him off higher than he is never doesn't make sense to me. But it doesn't actually matter, really, in the end, because he's going to be discharged on May 24th. Period, end of story. Because that's what the insurance company has determined that they will pay. And, nobody said, do you want to stay if you need to and pay on your own, or ask that, not that we necessarily would want to do that, but it's all determined by the insurance company, who's never met my father and who's basing it on statistics, I'm sure. Not even on this faulty assessment by the therapy team. It's just, the insurance company will pay for 14 days of rehab, period, end of story. So he's being discharged on the 24th. No reference to how much progress he's made, what condition he's in, that he should be able to achieve these goals. Nothing. It's only 14 days, period. So, my father is determined to work hard, he says, and get stronger so he can go back to Harmony. And I hope that's true. It has been helpful to my brother and me to kind of have a schedule. So we now know, what's going to happen. And we have some ideas on how to manage the parents. Going forward, to make sure that my dad isn't doing any of the physical work for my mother. And that's the goal, because he just needs to get stronger himself. We don't want him feeling responsible for her. I mean, because you have to help lift her out of the chair into her transport chair to take her to the bathroom and stuff. So we have a scheme in mind, and John's gonna get the people in place. We won't have extra people on the weekends, so I'm gonna be going up in the next couple weekends to just be because day coverage isn't good. The response time to the button during the day is not good, and weekends is worse because they have fewer people. I don't know what, I mean, they're having trouble staffing. They have agency staff there to fill in, and anyway. So for the next few weeks, John and I are still going to be, more present than we would typically be, and but I have some phone calls to make today to see if I can make some arrangements that might settle things down in the future. And Daddy's job is to just work really, really, really hard. Just work really hard. So I am home today because when we were making the schedule, I told my brother I have to be home on the 18th because it's my Zoom call. It's my Zoom call that I can't miss. Our Zoom call is on Saturday. It's at 2 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Please try to come. Yeah, you can hear the story that can't be told on the internet. And I can talk to you guys and hear what's going on with you. That's always the best part, because you know what's going on with me. Well, not all the details. Anyway, so put that on your calendar, just a reminder, we're having our Zoom call. Meanwhile, I'm gonna be taking today off. I did do a little bit of knitting while I was but only about an inch on my Montrealer. I'm just about to the end of this, repeat this 23 times to do the raglan increases. So now I got to read the pattern and figure out what's next. It could be that the reason it's the way it is because the next thing is change the color, because this sweater has more stripes on it than I'm going to be doing. So, but I haven't read the pattern ahead, so I'm about to the end of the section of increases that I'm on, and we'll see what happens next. But I did knit a little bit. I was mostly reading the news on my phone and on the alert. I am looking forward to relaxing today and not being on the alert. That'll be good, because I'm tired. But I slept pretty well last night. And even considering I had a cup of coffee on my way home at 5 o'clock, I was a little tired and I was a little worried because I had a 3-hour drive. So I had coffee. I figure if I can't sleep, at least I'm not sleeping in my own bed. It'll be fine. And it was. And I didn't have any trouble sleeping. So that was good. So I'm home. It just isn't very conducive to vlogging there. So I, did a quick hello on Mother's Day, and that was it. But I don't anticipate any more 4-day weekend things like I just did. Because the next time I was scheduled to do a long weekend was starting the Friday that my dad goes home. So I am going on Friday. I'm going to go earlier than I would have because I want to help him, transfer from the rehab hospital to the apartment and be there, because it's hard to not do when your wife needs help. And so, yeah, I'll be there for the weekend. And, yeah, I guess I'm planning on coming home on maybe Monday morning. Not this coming weekend, the weekend after, the 24th. This weekend I am going to go up on Sunday and stay overnight till Monday, just to give my brother a break. He's worked so hard. He's, exhausted. And, give him a little bit of a break. And then Daddy comes home and everything changes, and we'll see how that works out. But I'm expecting, once he gets home, to spend a couple weekends there, just to make sure they have the coverage that they need. And I have plans the first 2 weekends in June. Although the second weekend in June, my plans are in State College, so I can be there to help much more than I would otherwise. So anyway, whatever. Now we're getting way into the future. A month from now. But, we're still going to be helping out in a month from now. So, but I've got some phone calls to make today just to see what the options are. And we'll see what happens. Meanwhile, one of my books came from the library, and I'm going to read today. That's my plan. It's raining. I told Dennis that our first walk that's not in the rain has to be a really long walk, because I have not had any exercise for 4 days. My brother came on Monday for a few hours to, with the idea that I could go for a walk and go see my dad. Well, I went to see my dad first and spent the whole time there with him, because that was when the therapist came and everything. It was serendipitous that I was there, and I'm glad I was there, but I did not get a walk. I mean, I got a walk from the parking lots, and that was it. So I have not had any exercise for 4 days, and that is not good. I said, I'm not going to want to do a really long walk, so I'm telling you now, we need to do a really long walk, because I'm not going to suggest it while we're actually walking. He laughed and said, okay. But today is going to be rainy, so I don't think today will be the day, but you never know. If we find a quiet time when it's not raining, maybe I'll just have to take a long walk 2 days in a row. Really long. It'll be good for me. Meanwhile, yeah. So be sure and come on Saturday for our Zoom. And I'm glad to be back. And I don't think I'll have quite so many long stretches without talking to you. But thank you for those who missed me. And I didn't get to answer the comments, but I read them all. Thank you so much. And I will be responding today with a lot of thank yous, because I do really appreciate your good wishes and your friendship. So thank you. All right, I'm going to go. Ramble. Tomorrow, if it's not raining, I'm going to go and show you out front, because the rhododendron is in its glory at the moment, too. But I have my slippers on. I'm not going out in the rain. Please take good care of yourselves. Please stay safe and stay sane.